Today I'm leading you through a short yoga class that focuses on strength. We'll use poses that support our own body weight and use our core muscles. This can help build strength in our day-to-day activities, improve bone density, preserve muscle mass and help stabilise the joints, helping to prevent injuries. If we haven't met, I'm Sharon from SharonRaynerYoga.com. In the description below you can find a link to join the Beginners and Improvers yoga community on Facebook. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more free classes and tips. Your support in growing my channel is really appreciated. So start standing in mountain pose. So feet are a comfortable distance apart, or they can be together. And we're just going to focus a few moments on our breath. So if you place your fingertips around your ribs, and as you inhale, feel the ribs expand. And as you exhale, feel the ribs contract. So we'll just do that a couple more times and see if you can make that echoey sound of your breath in your throat. So inhale and exhale. And then we'll do a few half sun salutations. So as you inhale, arms come up, touch at the top, exhale as the arms come down, bend the knees a little, come down with a flat back, fold. You can put your hands around the backs of your legs. Inhale, hands to the front of the shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale, leading with the chest, the arms come up, reaching all the way up, and exhale to press the air down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, exhale with a flat back, fold at the bottom. Inhale, hands to the front of the shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lead with the chest, coming up with a flat back. And exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale. Exhale, pivoting from the hips. Folding, release the head and neck. Inhale, hands to the front of the shins, extend. Exhale to fold. Inhale, coming up with a flat back. And exhale, back to mountain pose. So keeping the feet either hip width or together, inhale the arms up and sit back into a chair position. So the arms come up as far as is comfortable, sitting back into the heels. So you should be able to lift your toes and still maintain this position. So the toes can come back down, but we really want to sit back into the heels. Taking a couple of breaths there, really working the legs, lifting the arms up higher if you can. Taking another inhale, and then exhale, coming back to stand. So separate the feet. The toes are pointing forwards. We'll come into a warrior 2. So the further apart the feet, the more intensive this is going to be. So turn your left foot out to the short edge of the mat and the back foot comes in a little bit. The chest is facing the long edge of the mat. Arms come out to the sides, and then we'll bend that left knee over the ankle. So what we don't want is for that knee to cave in. If that does happen, you might need to pivot those back toes in a little bit more. So bending that knee over the ankle, the chest is still facing the long edge of the mat. And then as we inhale, straighten the leg, reach up. Exhale, back to the warrior 2. Inhale, reaching up, straighten the leg. Exhale, warrior two, making sure that knee stays aligned over the ankle. One more, inhale, and exhale, warrior two. And then for side angle, that left elbow comes down to the leg, and then the chest is still facing the long edge of the mat. You can stay here, or you maybe take the arm up to the ceiling and maybe start to look up towards the hand, but keep your neck comfortable, so you may want to just keep looking forwards. Make sure that you're not dumping into that shoulder, there's a lift there, and that back foot is pressing down. So one more, inhale and exhale. And then to come out, look down, and then just coming out with strength, making sure that we don't wrench out too quickly. So switching sides, the toes come forwards, and then pivoting the right foot out, the back toes come in a little, the chest is facing the long edge of the mat, the arms come out to the sides, and then this time we'll bend the right knee over the ankle. So again, we don't want that knee to cave in, we want the knee to be aligned over the ankle, so you might find that you need to pivot those back toes in a little bit more, and the torso is upwards, we're not leaning over to one side. So inhale, the arms up, straighten the leg, and exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up, exhale, warrior two, making sure that that knee is over the ankle. Inhale, exhale, pressing that back foot down, and then side angle. So the elbow comes to the leg, the chest is facing the long edge of the mat, so there's a rotation of the chest and the ribs, and then maybe the arm comes up and maybe looking up towards the thumb. So these are optional, you can stay facing forwards and you can stay here with your arm down. So taking another breath here. And then to come out, look down, and then coming out with strength. So heel toe the feet in together, and then we're going to flow just to get to the floor. So inhale, the arms up, exhale, soft knees coming down with a flat back and fold. Release the head and neck. Inhale, lengthen the spine, hands against the shins. Exhale, place the hands down on the floor, and then simply coming down to kneel. So I'm going to turn the other way. So come into tabletop position, so the wrists are underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath the hips. Take the right foot behind you, the toes are on the floor. Now just make sure, there can be a tendency here for the hip to open out, so make sure that the hips stay even, and then lift up that right leg, and then either stay here or you can reach out with the opposite arm. This is quite a challenge for the balance and for the core strength. So if it's too much, simply bring that hand down. So really reaching the limbs out long, pressing the floor away. Taking another inhale. And then coming back to tabletop. Switching sides, so the left foot comes behind. So again, there can be a tendency for the hips to want to open out. So we want to try to keep those hips stable. Lifting that leg, and then maybe reaching forwards with the opposite arm. Reaching those limbs away from each other, pressing the floor away, drawing the belly in. It can help to focus on a spot below. One more breath. And then coming back to tabletop. So child's pose, separate the knees as wide as is comfortable, and then reaching the arms forwards, the head comes towards the floor. So it might be that your hips are up higher than this, and that's fine. Seeing if you can find a comfortable position. And then coming up. So Turning over onto your sitting bones, and we'll do boat pose. So place your hands behind the backs of your thighs and reach up tall with the chest. So we don't want to slouch or round here, we want to reach up tall. And we're going to balance on the tailbone. So pointing the toes a little and coming back, and this might be enough. You might already feel those core muscles start to kick in. So if that's the case, then you just stay working here. Or you might find that you can start to bring one foot up, the other foot up. This really challenges the balance. The muscles are really working around the core. And eventually you may be able to start taking the hands, taking the arms forwards like that. But this is really challenging. And what we really want to do is maintain that upright position. We don't want to be slouching. So if you're still down here, that's absolutely fine. Still working on reaching tall with the chest. And remembering to breathe. One more breath. And then coming down to butterfly. So open the knees out to the sides, the soles of the feet together. You might find it more comfortable to do more of a diamond shape and place the fingertips behind. Otherwise, if possible, bring the feet in a little closer. Use the fingertips behind to really reach up tall. So again, we're not slouching, we don't want that pelvis to tilt upwards. We want to try and maintain a neutral spine position. And we're obviously working the hips in an external rotation. You might be feeling some stretch going on in the inner thighs. Just taking a couple of breaths here. And then reaching the legs long. So a plank, sort of an upside down plank here. So place the hands behind wherever they're comfortable. You might find them more comfortable behind or out to the sides. The feet press down and the hips lift up. So you may find that you only come a little way and then you just come back down again if that's enough. Or you might find that you can come up higher. Depends on your shoulder mobility. You might be able to lift your head a little bit further back. Just one more breath here. And then lowering back down. So we're going to recline, so make sure you've got space behind you. And I always like to recline with strength, so if you can reach your arms out in front of you and recline slowly. If that's too much, then simply place the hands behind the thighs and coming down as slowly as you can. Try not to plop onto the mat. And then when you reach a recline position, we'll do bridge pose. So bring the feet in close to the hips, the feet are pressing down and the toes are facing forwards. So pressing the feet down, lift up the hips as high as is comfortable. Make sure that the knees aren't flaring out, the knees are still staying aligned. The toes are still pointing forwards. You might find that you want to hold on to the edges of the mat. You might be able to start to tuck the shoulders underneath, opening up the chest and the shoulders, the fronts of the hips, pressing down with the feet. That's really key. The motion comes from pressing down the feet, keeping the big toes pressing down into the floor. One more inhale. And as you exhale, slowly lowering down, untuck the shoulders, coming down, and then separate the feet to the edges of the mat and just a windshield wiper action here. Just getting a little twist from side to side. Relaxing the spine, relaxing the core now. We've done lots of strength work. And then coming back to neutral, hug the knees into the chest. If you feel like rocking from side to side. And then final relaxation, so place the feet down, the palms are up, the knees can either roll in to rest against each other, or if it's comfortable on your back, you can extend the legs. And just coming back to noticing the breath. noticing the sensations in the body. And when you are ready to come out, simply roll over onto your side and gently push yourselves up.